This is part 3 of a 3-part podcast. So my mom, the Strega, we got her back on the show, you guys. She traveled in her car. She lived out of her car since May. It is now September. She drove all the way from the coast of California all the way to New Orleans, almost to the complete East Coast. She was just shy. Stopped in a whole bunch of places in between. She found work. She's basically rubber tramping it, aka means living out of your car. And this is a Subaru Outback, guys. There's not a lot of space in that thing. But she managed to drive to find a whole new different way of life. Me and her have been discussing these things of how networking, finding out, meeting people, and having this network where you can actually find work anywhere in the United States, which affords you mobility and adventure in your life. And I think in some ways a lot of stress relief, but some stresses in other ways. Tune in today to find out how she did this, what it was like, what are the pros and cons, and a little bit about what each state kind of has to offer. Welcome to another edition of Up and In It. I'm your host, Adrian Babashoff, and if you're new here and you're wondering what the show is about, it's 100% dedicated to creating a lifestyle design that benefits and improves life for Earth and people, exploring alternatives to the daily grind through liberation and independence, moving you from surviving to thriving and living life raw. All right, guys, so without further ado, this is the Strega, this is my mom, and here we go.
And so they're like, I don't know why this or why that, you know. And of course, if you can study mushrooms, if you can study, the health benefits of mushrooms and the medicine of mushrooms and the plant kingdom, very helpful, very helpful. And it's interesting if you understand the plant kingdom. Like when I was in the desert and got dysentery, what I learned, I happened to have a plant book with me, was that the desert was surrounded with plants specifically for any kind of digestive issues. Yeah. Because water is such an issue in the desert, and there's standing water. If there's any, it's a lot of time it's standing and it's bad. Tell you, you learn from these plants how to purify the water, or what to make a tea out of and drink if you do drink the bad water and you get sick. So plant kingdom is definitely something I would suggest anybody know about, and plus it's interesting.
Just don't get them confused like Chris McCandless.
Yes.
From Into the Wild.
Yes, most definitely. And there are plants that do mimic each other.
Yeah.
Learn about like poisonous insects and snakes. Mm-hmm. Learn about what to do in those cases. There are all kinds of critters everywhere. Same thing. Backpacking, we learn how to make your camp bear proof.
Yeah.
Shit can happen. The same thing with, car wrecks or flying off an ATV, whatever it is, learn how to deal with it and be ready for anything. And that's probably what puts people in the most fear, but it's part of the adventure. Yeah. Becoming self-sufficient is just, talk about a boost in your morale and in your sense of self, your self-confidence, is when you know that you got everything covered. Should this happen? Should that happen? Yeah. And you have to think about that stuff. What if you're, like, especially my car's an old car. What if it breaks down in the middle of the desert? What are you going to do? I'm like, set up camp, make some soup.
My run this morning, right here on this public beach, another fucking huge part of the cliff just fell with giant boulders. They didn't fall. I didn't see it fall.
Yeah.
But you can tell it's fresh, and that was, a month ago, I think, here in Leucadia. 3 people died sitting there. Hey, well, it's wonderful. I think the story goes too, with somebody survived cancer. I'd like to give a praise and a cheers to.
Yep.
Gone.
You're gone.
I know that's one in camping, they say, is like when you're going to set up your tent, look up for a minute, and there might be some branches that are dead that are going to come down and harpoon right through your tent.
Right through your head.
There's such neglect that people, they don't look around. But what's interesting too has been a thought right in my mind, is just how linear everything is. Like, we're just going to get from point A to point B, and where life's a journey, and there's so much that you need to learn that you'll always learn.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, it kind of like going tomorrow to look at that property, or the properties in Julian, there's some part of me that's like, but then you're tied down. Mm-hmm. Then you never have that freedom to move about.
But you can always rent it out and go travel or something. And
it's a good investment and things like that. But it's got to feel good, like you were saying, to have everything you own's in your car. Yeah. That's it. And you're gone and you're out.
Yeah, you don't have like
there's nothing you're glued to.
1 foot behind. I have nothing but what's in my car and me. Yeah. That's it. And I don't have any safety nets. Obviously I have friends and family I can go and and see and maybe stay with a little bit, but I don't have like a lot of my traveling friends that are younger, you know, they get sick or something happens, they just go back to mom and dad's house.
Yeah.
You know, but I have to, if I want to maintain my car and, you know, I have my cell phone, which is my little mini computer, you know, I have to make a certain amount of income for car maintenance, registration, insurance,
Yeah.
you know, these kind of things. So I'm not just free on the road. That's why I try to look ahead and go, okay, keep it down to a bare minimum what my absolute necessities are, and then, so how much would I need to make? And like, I really would love to make it where I don't, out of every month, I only have to work a week.
Yeah.
And right now, that's pretty simple to do.
Yeah. What's some tips? What are some stuff, like, what does your life look like? What do you eat? What do you do as far as food?
Oh, it all depends where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know, where I'm at and what I'm doing, what's in the kitty at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
What's the cheapest of the cheap you've got up your sleeve? Like in the pinch of a pinch, like worst case scenario.
Beans, tortillas and beans. Yeah, you can get like, I like the, I used to always have the tostada shells that are already cooked. I always had some of those and some cans of beans, because you can always open a can of beans, but don't take the lid off entirely and hold it, and then hold it over fire and mix it and warm it up.
Yeah.
You know, so something hot. Top ramen, of course. There's a zillion ways to make ramen. That's definitely a staple. Instant oatmeal. Again, not the healthiest food, but, you know, Vienna sausage, all these things, beef jerky, those are all in my emergency kit.
Yeah.
So in case of anything, I always have that. It always helps. And then thermos cooking stuff, you know, I have a thermal pot, so I can cook something up, and while I'm driving, it can be cooking a pot of stew or some beans or whatever, which is a whole podcast just on thermal cookware, people. I don't know why people don't use thermal cookware. I love my thermal cookware. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it all depends where you're going. Are you going mountains, desert, ocean? You know, so what's available. But I've been like dumpster diving too. There's a lot of good food dumpster diving as well.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people turn their nose up to that, but you'd be surprised. Dumpster diving is not just about food either. There's, you know, I've seen beautiful food come out of a dumpster. You know, when you go in that grocery store and you see all those beautiful vegetables and all wonderful produce and all that fresh baked bread and all that deli stuff and all that stuff has an expiration date.
Yep.
And a lot of it, the bigger stores, there'll be fresh yogurt and even ice cream if you go at the right time.
Me and my grandpa Jim, we'd go behind Albertsons and and it's still in the plastic, it's in a box, like it's just sitting right on top, like we used to go get the bananas from Albertsons. Yeah. Even though I own my own business and work, Grandpa Zella would look over, hey, let's go over behind Albertsons to see what they got. They make a bunch of banana bread and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We're just a weird fucking type of people. Look at him. He's retired. He got like, I don't even know, I think like $1,800 a month from his pension and everything. Yeah. He's still going out getting cardboard, fixing TVs and stuff out of dumpster diving, basically. Yeah. Getting food, making money, and keeping busy. He'd go gamble at the horse races with the cardboard money he'd make. There was a day we'd make $100 a day. Yeah. When cardboard prices were up.
Well, a lot of that comes from Depression era people too. I'm grateful I was raised by Depression era people. You do not waste anything. Yeah. You take nothing for granted. And of course, living in South America taught a lot. You know, not to waste any food, especially. And we live in a nation that loves its wastefulness. They consider it affluence.
I just wonder if there's any other place in the fucking world where you can walk down the street and literally find money laying on the sidewalk or in the. I just picked up like 50 cents worth of change yesterday just walking. There was pennies and nickels and. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm always ground scoring. Like literally money.
Well, also when
they're littering with money.
When you change your mentality, like being an artist as well. Like I'm always looking at the ground. Yeah. In the desert, you'd find stuff all the time, and you know, anywhere I go, I find things, and like I make art out of stuff. Like I think it's really fascinating when I find something in a Home Depot parking lot, like an old battery that's been driven over for I don't know how many times, and it's flattened out and it's dimpled and it's got a little rust over here. And like to me, that's a piece of artwork waiting to happen. You know.
What did you say that the elk teeth in Colorado, they use them for art? They're like,
yeah.
What is it? Not mahogany.
Ivory.
Ivory?
Yeah.
Really?
Bone is like ivory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's a special type, though. You were saying it specifically was this guy go and hunt.
Well, you know, the
teeth.
Yeah, I bartered a beautiful piece of wisteria. I had a job in California to hack down a wisteria. It's probably 25 years old. So I had this gorgeous trunk, just all wound around each other, and I just strapped it on top of my car. I'm like, I don't know, I'll find something to do with that.
I think I remember when you're driving. I'm like, what the fuck does she think she's doing?
Yeah, what is that?
Great.
Yeah. I mean, it was good size too. Well, I took that to Colorado where there is no wisteria, and the person I bartered with had never even seen wisteria. But he just looked at it, and he's got a really cool log cabin he's building a lot of time, and he was like, how much you want for that? And I'm like, you know what? You're a really cool guy, just take it. You can have it. And he's all, no, I'm not going to just give it. You can't just give it to me. And he and I designed a light fixture to go above his dining table out of that, you know. Whether he ever does it or not, I don't know. But he gave me elk horn and deer horns, the antlers, which fall off every year. Yeah. He goes hunting for them and sells them.
Oh, really?
And makes things,
the antlers fall off?
The antlers fall off every year, and you can go and wildcraft them in specific areas. So anyway, he gave me some of those to make. I'm going to make some jewelry and things when I'm on the road to sell for cash. And then he gave me some, there's some beautiful agates and the rocks. If you love rocks, Colorado, oh my God. I was like, stop looking. Enough of the rocks. They're like agates and all different kinds of quartz. And oh my God.
Oh, Lotus would love that.
Yeah, and they're right there on the surface. So anyway, he gave me some slices of these stones and all this to so that I can make jewelry and things to sell.
Oh, that'd be really cool building materials.
Oh, the elk teeth you were asking about. Yeah, definitely. The elk teeth, he's lived in Colorado, that part of Colorado, his entire life. And he takes hunters. Hunting is part of the way he makes a living, you know, a meager living, but he makes a living. But he had come upon a skull and a skeleton of a very elderly elk, bull elk. And he said it's very rare for them to live as long, even if they, you know, not because they get hunted, but to their teeth grind down as they get old, and it's difficult for them to chew, and they literally starve to death.
Wow, this seems like the case with lots of animals.
Yeah, lions and everything too, especially meat eaters especially. But yeah, so he had the teeth. So he gave me some of the teeth that are just like in native lore, I believe, or there's a juju in them, you know. So that's what when I travel, I don't buy souvenirs like coffee cups and t-shirts and hats and all this stuff. I pick up things, you know, barter for things and pick up things that are from the nature of that area, you know, rocks and things. You know, like here at California beaches, pick up rocks and do some paintings on them and sell those on the road for cash. I've painted on the rocks, but I haven't sold them for cash yet. But it's one of the ways of doing things. And people love it. They love just seeing your art. I mean, I have bartered drawings. When I was in Oregon, up in Eugene last year, I bartered a really nice drawing I did. He got the better end of the deal, but the guy was walking out of the pizza place with a pizza and some garlic rolls and a 6-pack of beer, and I said, hey, you want to trade? He saw the drawing was a dragon with all kinds of texture and everything in it, just super detailed, and he was like, yes. So scored a giant pizza and garlic rolls and a 6-pack of beer for my traveling buddies and I. Yeah, so, you know, like I said, unexpected things happen.
It's an adventure.
It is totally. And you meet so many cool people. I've met so many interesting people, and, you know, like, we're friends on Facebook now, and I get to keep up with their travels. They keep up with mine. I know people that hop trains, and rainbow people, too, that travel to the rainbow gatherings, which I haven't been to one of those yet. But one of these days.
Right. You were right there, too, huh? Weren't you right? There was one. It was in Wyoming.
It was Missouri.
Missouri, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not right there. That's a good distance. I thought about it, but I was like, that's a long distance. That's something that I think if I did something like that, it'd be more like springtime, like maybe this spring or something. Who knows?
This is not the time to be heading towards the east.
Well, you know, and you got to calculate things. Go where your intuition tells you. I'm a big advocate for full-on intuition. Is the thing that I rely on the most, and it hasn't done me wrong yet. Where to go, who to hang with, pick up somebody hitchhiking, don't pick up somebody hitchhiking, whatever. Lots of good stuff in this world. Lots of crap, but lots of good stuff too.
Yep. it's just freeing yourself up to be able to see and have those experiences. That's why I feel so sad. This is just a big part of my thinking, and part of the show is like that. There's so much more to life and so much out there, and why the fuck would you focus on shit that's actually failing in many ways? Like, how many people, like, I don't know, you're losing your time with your children and yourself
and just living life large. Like, to me, you know, like camping up in the Colorado mountains, we were up at the 10,000 foot level, you know, had a book of poetry. You know, it was an old antique book of poetry, and my friends and I just sat there around the fire, passing whiskey bottle around and reading poetry out loud to each other, Tennyson and Poe and everybody, and just like, you know, putting the emphasis in it and acting it out. Like, who needs a TV?
Yeah.
You know, you want music? We busted out drums and guitars and made some music and hollered and sang terribly. It was horrible. That's why the bears didn't come around our camp. They're like, oh God, whatever's happening over there, I don't even want to see.
Shut the shit off. I can't mate with this kind of stuff.
Ruin my appetite. But that's what I'm saying, you know, you get up in the morning and, you know, you're somewhere different.
Yeah.
Sometimes you sleep outside, and, you know, like when in the desert, I slept outside the whole time I was there, and just like laying there underneath all the stars and just watching the shooting stars, and, you know, just hearing the animals at night. You know, that was another thing while I was in Austin. Got to see the Austin bats. That's a big deal down there. They've got millions.
Oh, really?
Of bats.
You didn't tell me about that.
Forgot to tell you about that. Oh, and mud swallows.
Whatever. You don't fucking love me anymore.
I've got film. I've got it on film. Okay.
You got some on film?
Yeah. When I set up my site, you can come and see it.
What's up with the bats, man? Finish the fucking story.
Oh, they're just caves with bats, and this time of year is the time of year to see them. They just come out, just
like
thousands.
Big ones,
or? No, not really. Cave bats.
Yeah.
They're not like those big giant, like in India and shit. But there's like so many of them.
Yeah.
That was crazy just seeing them just fill the sky.
Wow. Yeah, that would be something.
It was. I love, for me, like, I'm not big on amusement parks and typical tourist things. Some things I don't mind, but those are the things I love, is just seeing things, especially if I don't know about it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I've been in places and times where, you know, like I was 15 years old and I was on the coast of Northern California, and there was the migration of the monarch butterflies. I had no idea. I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah.
And so I'm laying there underneath these eucalyptus trees, and I'm looking, going, man, that tree looks weird. Those leaves don't look normal to me. And all of a sudden the wind came up, and it was thousands of monarchs flying. Took my breath away, and it was so much better that I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah.
You know, I'll never ever forget that. And you see things like that in different places. You go, you have to go to the right spot, though. You know, you have to want to be down by the river, you know, under a bridge. You have to want to be in some maybe precarious cliff situation in Hawaii on the volcanic rock.
You know what trips me the fuck out is being way out in the middle of nowhere in the ocean. Mm-hmm. It's way different than being on land, man. There's nowhere to go, and an turns into a no-no. It's like, holy shit. Yep. The craziest thing I ever saw was coming back from, I think it was the Channel Islands out here in San Diego. Mm-hmm. And we're going back, and I have my back, you know, facing backwards as the boat's heading back home. I just happened to look left, and I saw a big old dead whale, and there was a big pool of blood around it, and it was bloated, definitely floating. And just at the same time, when I looked over, you could see the great white, this big old mouth, big enough to fucking swallow me whole, just teeth and all. It just came up, grabbed the whale, and just fucking shook it, and just ripped a big old So the boat's going pretty fast. So that's what I see. We're going. I see it from level, and then just as it's going, and just rips a chunk off and goes down, and it's left behind me. You can just see all the blood and everything. I mean, when you see shit like that in real life,
oh yeah,
it shakes you to your core. It's like, whoa,
yeah,
we are not in Kansas anymore,
or just
motherfucker.
Like you're on a boat and you look down, there's a 13-foot tiger shark just kind of cruising by
the boat.
My
God,
and the boat's moving fast, and it's hardly even, it's not even really stressed. It's just barely trying. It's like passes the boat up and then disappears. Those kind of things are pretty amazing.
And you look on top of the fisherman's boat, and the auxiliary little boats are fucking little raft squares with a net. You sit in a net. Am I kidding you?
And there's not even
You
enough
think I'm
for
kidding?
everybody.
No.
No, I've been on fishing boats. I've seen
What the hell, man? I don't know what's more terrifying. Just sitting there like a freaking basket of just
yummies.
Just yummies. Like, come over and get me. Like,
ooh, appetizers.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's why they need some of those things they have in the army, the morphine. Just take yourself out. As soon as you see fins, or just take the person next to you and push them off the boat.
Yeah. Just make sure you put chum on everyone else before you get in.
That's got to be intense, though. I can't even imagine going all the way from, like, say, from here to Australia or something. Just
well, and that's why I say I think
wow.
I think it's wise. I feel it's wise how people will caravan on their boats and travel together, and they keep in touch with each other so that, you know, hey, they'll be caravanning somewhere and someone will say, hey, we're going to head off to the Azores. We'll meet you guys in Australia, you know, in 2 weeks or something, and people keep track of each other.
You know, I got that InReach Mini. It's they have the InReach something, a phone, which would cost me like $800 just for like 10 minutes of use for a month. But you can make a phone call from Antarctica or the middle of the ocean, supposedly. Well, this InReach Mini is just, you can fit it in your palm. It's supposed to be able to send an SOS from anywhere, and you can get it month to month.
Yeah.
That thing would be like, you know, if you got lost adrift by yourself, just hit that fucking thing. I never checked to see if it was waterproof.
See, you know, does it have any games on it?
Yeah.
I'd be out in the middle of the ocean in that basket with my butt hanging down.
Yeah.
Sharks cruising around, and I'm like, wait, I got to get to this next level.
Yeah. The plane's coming. Get in. You're like, dude, I just almost beat the last level of Tetris. Can you guys circle and just come back?
Can you just come back? Because, you know, I've never done this well at this game before. I'm about to win lives.
That'd be I hear, like, between, like, here and even Hawaii, there's, like, where the temperatures change. You just get these huge waves and, like...
Oh, yeah. White squalls, just to, you know, that's some saying, like, if I did do an Oahu thing or any kind of marine type thing, is I would be studying everything I can get my hands on. More than that is just, like I said, if I was saying somewhere like Oahu or even San Diego, is meet people that go out and learn, especially the ones that have been through a lot.
I study all kinds of weird ass shit. Like, tip I can give you, or you probably already know this, is you cut the eyeball out of any fish, and you bite the fluid and drink that out. It's just like, it's the equivalent to water.
Stop, you're making me hungry.
I know.
Sorry, vegans. All my vegan friends out there, I know. This is survival.
And yes, you could drink your own urine. I think you could do this over and over again.
Yeah. Does
Sterile.
it taste good? No.
Just pretend it's lemonade.
I like it. What are you going to do? Makes a good mixer for your drinks.
You get tired of the flavor? Try your friends.
Well, it's a super good way to get people to not ask to drink your drink.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, my mixer is my urine. That doesn't bother you. Help yourself.
Wow, so you think you would definitely go for, like, just cruising the ocean, huh?
I'd love to.
Yeah. Man, that would be a trip.
It would. I mean, even if I never got, you know, to that point where I'm out on the ocean, just to be living on a boat in Hawaii, go spearfishing for some fish and make some sushi for lunch or some, you know, ceviche or something, like, just to be able to just go and look at it, you know, like, you know, people are like, aren't you scared of sharks now? Well, I'm not exactly excited about dying by shark, but every time I get in a car, I feel like I have much more chance of dying in a car than I do if I'm from a shark in the ocean, you know, so I don't know. You tell me, don't you feel scared of dying when you get in a car?
Yeah.
Like I always say, you know, like you're going 65, I'm going 65, you know, there's a little painted line between us. You promising to stay on my side, you promising to stay on your side. You know, I think that's a lot scarier than getting in a vast ocean where there's plenty of other things for sharks to eat. They just vibrate. I am not food. I am not food. I'm not here to eat you. You're not here to eat me. Clean him and move down.
I got Tetris if you want to play instead of biting my leg off. Can I interest you in something like that?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a little yellow basket floating around somewhere out here with nice little appetizers.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this was a good one. I mean, they're all good ones, but people comment.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, as they all say, and pass it along. We are not only fun and interesting, but we're interesting and fun. Check us out. We got stuff we do, stuff we say. Plenty of adventures to share with you.
We're definitely doers.
Yup. Yep.
So where do you think you'd be off next? Sounds like you're already hooking up out here, and you're gonna do some gooder, get some good business, get some money in the kitty. Where would be your first pick, you think?
All depends how things go. Like I said, somewhere between the Hawaiian Islands and possibly Pacific Northwest, possibly here. Don't know. That's the best part about it.
Do you have where's a place where people can find out what you're doing if you want to release that information?
Facebook is all I got going on right now. Stenia Shubin.
Stenia Shubin, Shubin.
Yeah, Stenia Shubin, Shubin.
You gotta get yourself a road name one. Like Strega. Then that'd be hard to spell too.
Strega. That's not hard to spell.
But check, you posted some videos and stuff of Colorado and all kinds of stuff on there, huh?
Yes. Lots of them. New Orleans. I didn't do too much in Austin. I've got Barton Springs and stuff, but not too much in Austin.
Yeah. I'm getting hungry again. Oh.
Time for nom-noms.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching the show.
This is us checking in with you from the beach in SoCal.
Yeah, sorry for the background noise, all the people in the ocean.
Right in front of us is just beach out there, and it's
gorgeous. All right, we'll see if we can get the Strega on the next one.
Yep.
See you guys later. You guys like this sort of thing? Check out the private group at Facebook. Everything's at Up and In It. I made it private so we can kick any buttholes that come in and try to fight people or cause trouble, and we can have a family there. So it has to be approved. I approve everybody right off the bat. We just want to have control. There's Instagram where I post about my mini retirements and all kinds of other stuff every single day. Of course, there's YouTube and the podcast. And as I always say, don't lose your muchness. Carry on the fire. Human up. Live it, love it, own it, and bone it.